Hey guys, my name's Jake Demai, not Demi, Demai, and in this video I want to talk about how you can start your own bookkeeping business. I know if you're watching this video, you're probably thinking about it. You're probably thinking about starting it up. You're thinking about the potential. You're dreaming about it. And if you're watching this video on your couch, if you're watching it on your way to work, or if you're listening to it on your way to work, then you probably are overthinking it, and you're probably doing too much research, and you just need to get off your butt and actually make some moves. You need to do things to get this thing going. You can't just learn and learn and learn. I feel like I've seen so many people wait and wait and wait to start their bookkeeping businesses, and they're just too afraid to do it. They're stuck in that analysis paralysis, and they just have to get started. And so guys, let this be your motivation. Maybe you need to turn this video off right now so that you can get started right away with that first social media post. Or you can just stick around to the end of this video and I can share everything that's worked for me, how I took my business from nothing and starting it from scratch and building it to about $225,000 in profit this year, 4 years in. And I know guys, if I can do it, you can do it too. And so in this video, I wanna just share a few tips, a little bit about my journey, how I got started, some of the things that you can do, and how you can just stop overthinking it, how you can stop overcomplicating it, and how you can just get moving with this bookkeeping business. If you're even like 50% serious about starting a bookkeeping business, you have to just take the leap. You know, the worst case scenario, the whole thing fails and you look silly, but at least you tried, and at least you put yourself out there and did something that you can be proud of. So what did I do? What did I do to get started? Let me just start from the very beginning. I had a tax background. I had very minimal amount of bookkeeping experience. I had done some bookkeeping, like review. I had done QuickBooks Online a little bit, but I was by no means an expert. And but I was burnt out from taxes, and so that was the reason why I wanted to get out of taxes. I just hated tax seasons. I hated the seasonal flow of it. I felt like I could never get myself into a rhythm. And honestly, I just hated being an employee. That was the bulk of it. I hated being told what to do. I hated being told where to work, what to wear, how to do my work, who to talk to. I couldn't say no to any projects. I had to accept everything. And at a tax firm, I just had a bunch of people telling me what to do and didn't have a lot of respect, which is fine. I'm not bitter. I might sound a little bit bitter. I had a great experience as an employee, but I'm just, looking back, I know how much better my life is as a self-employed person. And I want to basically convince you to do the same thing that I did, because I was a below average employee and I didn't quite fit their mold for what they needed from me. I have a personality that's not typical to a lot of accountants. And so I struggled a little bit as an employee. I was a little bit late to work. I didn't work that hard. I should have. I regrettably should have worked harder. I wasn't all in. I wasn't as serious as I needed to be in my career. And it wasn't until I became self-employed is when I really put the pedal to the metal, and when I worked harder than I've ever worked in my life. I work harder for myself than I do for other people, and that's just the reality of it. And so I didn't even think about owning a bookkeeping business. I didn't even think about it. I had passed my CPA exams. I was thinking about owning a tax firm and being self-employed in that way. But I ran across this dumb ad on Facebook about starting your own bookkeeping business. I think the ad was called, I think the guy has a company called Booming Bookkeeping Business. I don't even know if he's still real or not. But I saw this ad and that was all I needed. I saw my avenue for owning and starting a company, and that's all I needed. And I started my company a week after I saw that ad. And it was scary. It was scary to start it. But one thing that I typically do is I don't think things through as much as I should maybe. But in this situation, guys, it actually helped me and it worked in my favor because I didn't overthink it. I didn't overcomplicate it. I kept things simple and I just went for it. I took the leap and I started the bookkeeping business, and this is how I started it. I started it by a simple social media post. That's all I did. It was a simple social media post on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and it basically went like this. Hey guys, I'm excited to say that I'm starting a bookkeeping business, and if you know anybody or if you yourself need a bookkeeper, let me know. Very simple, but it was one of the scariest things I had ever done in my in my life, honestly, was that one post. And it was just, I wrote it, and then, for like 5 minutes, I just stared at the post, and I just, kind of blindly pushed the send button, and that was history. And it was that post that catapulted me into getting my business started, because when I posted it kicked in this instinct to follow through and to make a website and to become an LLC and to open that bank account and to start the email marketing, and all that stuff that comes after started with that social media post. And so if you are on the fence, if you are on the couch, if you are unable to just get started, if you're scared, you have to just post one time. You might have a website that's in draft mode, and it's never going to be perfect. And you might be thinking about how to onboard a client and how to do the actual bookkeeping. And I'm here to tell you, you're never going to be satisfied with your skills or with how good of a website you have or how good your process is. You have to take the leap, because you're going to learn as you go. And the question is, do you trust yourself? Do you trust your gut that you are going to figure it out when the time comes? Because what I realized is that, you can become a pro advisor on QuickBooks, which you should. You can read books, you can go to college, you can watch these YouTube videos, but until you actually do the work, you're not going to learn how to do it properly. You're going to be book smart, but you're not going to be street smart. And becoming a bookkeeper is different than owning a bookkeeping business. And you have to just take that leap and post on social media. So that's step number one, guys. Step number one is posting on social media. Then you focus on the other stuff, okay? The next thing I really think is important, another priority, is your website. So your website, I think, is a big deal, but you don't have to overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. I would recommend creating it yourself. It cost me about $150 to get a domain name and to create a website. I used WordPress, and there's like an application in there called Elementor, and I watched a YouTube video on how to just get started. Guys, now it's easier than ever to start a website. All you have to do to start a website now is talk to ChatGPT. Start and act dumb, and just because you probably are dumb when it comes to websites, and just say, hey, what do I do? How do I get started? Where do I even start? Who should I, what kind of company should I use to get my domain name? Have ChatGPT write the code for you. Have ChatGPT create the website and to style it and to give you opinions on it. That's what I did. I just updated my website, and I literally just copied what ChatGPT gave me. I gave a screenshot of my website, or you can even use other people's websites. You can say, hey, I want my website to look like this. Can you create code to make my website look like this? And that's all you have to do. And it's actually a lot of fun to make your own website. It's like, you're creating your own brand. And so a website, it took me maybe 3 weeks to create it. I actually created it over vacation while my daughter was napping at nights. I was just having fun with it, and it became a hobby. And so that was the exciting thing about my business in the beginning, was it was actually fun for me. It was a glorified hobby. There was no pressure. I wasn't quitting my job, the next day. I was just giving it some oxygen. I was giving it some food, and I was mothering it, and I was trying to build something from the ground up. And I knew it was going to take time. So the first thing, guys, is social media, then it's website, and then you focus on the other details. You create the LLC. You talk to ChatGPT about how to do that if you don't know how to do it. You create your bank account, because a lot of states require you to become an LLC in order to get a bank account. So you get that business bank account set up. You do need to have QuickBooks Accountant, the QuickBooks Accountant's login. It's free. You get it. You want to create, before you create the QuickBooks account though, you want to have an email address that you can connect to QuickBooks, because that'll be the email address that people will invite you with. So I had a simple email. It was free on Gmail. It was winonabookkeeping@gmail.com. You don't need to have a fancy email. It can just be simple, just to get it started. I wouldn't recommend using your personal email, like Jake Demi, blah blah blah. You just want to just have an email that you can connect to QuickBooks. So QuickBooks Accountant will be how you will accept clients. And so once you have QuickBooks Accountant, then you can accept the clients. You can do the pro advisor trainings in there, and that's kind of how you can get started with that. So you get the QuickBooks, and then you start refining your skills. You start developing your processes. You start figuring out what kind of business you want to be. And in my opinion, you go all in on bookkeeping, QuickBooks management, and financial statements. That's it. QuickBooks management and financial statements. You're not paying bills. You're not doing invoicing. You're not doing income tax. You're not doing sales tax. You're not doing payroll. You are focusing on QuickBooks management for small businesses that need their QuickBooks updated. They need their QuickBooks updated. They need accurate financials. They need a profit and loss and a balance sheet so that when they need to get a loan at the bank, or when they need to file their taxes, or when they need to calculate their estimated quarterly taxes, they need to have QuickBooks up to date and reconciled so that they can make those, so they can do those things, so that they can continue and make decisions for their business. And so develop your process, define who you are, who you want to be, but do that after you've already started the social media and website. Because here is the reality of a bookkeeping business. It is going to take time. It's going to take a very, very long time to build this business, and you have to be patient. You have to be patient. I struggled to be patient in the beginning, but I really believed that this was the way to go. I had this vision of owning a bookkeeping business with 20 to 25 clients, paying me $300 to $400 a month, and making six figures, $100,000 off of 20 to 25 clients. And I knew that it was just a matter of time until I got to that number. And maybe it was one client every 3 months. Maybe it was two clients every 3 months. But I knew that if I just got one client at a time, eventually I would get to 20 clients. And so, guys, be patient and do the social media. You might not be a social media person. You might not be comfortable with it, but I'm telling you now, you need to get comfortable with it. There was a guy, I'm gonna give a shout out to somebody that I saw on Facebook. They added me as a friend on Facebook. His name's Steele Sadler. So if you're listening to this, Steele, and you've made it this far in the video, congratulations. But I am impressed. He has been posting on Facebook, and I'm sure he's on other platforms too. He's been posting on Facebook, it feels like every day. And I accepted his friend request. I don't accept a lot of friend requests, but I just did because I was like, what the heck? And I'm gonna be honest, he has been in my head. Not because I need a bookkeeper, but because I'm scrolling through Facebook and boom, Steele. I scroll through Facebook, boom, Steele. And it's not annoying, because if I'm really annoyed, I can just block him, or I can just keep scrolling. But that is what it takes, guys. I don't know how he's doing. I don't know if his business has been successful, if he's finding clients or not, but you need to get in people's heads. You need to be that billboard that people pass on the highway, that they don't even realize that they saw it. It's like that, it's like the McDonald's billboard. They pass it, they don't realize they see it, but then suddenly they crave McDonald's. You need to be that for your bookkeeping business. You need to be in people's heads so that when they go to those holiday parties, Thanksgiving's around the corner, Christmas, when they're doing the Christmas holidays, whatever holiday, you need to be in people's heads so that when they do talk to that business owner randomly, or when they do kind of hear in the back in another conversation about somebody struggling with their bookkeeping and how much of a mess it is, or when they hear the word QuickBooks, you want to be on their minds. And so social media is your way of putting a billboard up on the highway, and it's your way of doing free advertising. And that's honestly what I wish I would have changed. I did social media, but I didn't post a lot. I wish I had posted every single day, and I wish I was annoying, and I wish I was more active on social media, because it took me about 18 months to go from nothing to being able to quit my full-time job. And I think I could have done it quicker than that. I really do. And I think social media is the path to do it. I'm doing this YouTube thing now, and I'm active on LinkedIn, a little bit active on Facebook, and I'm just being honest and frank. YouTube has helped me tremendously. It's just given me attention. People recognize me, they trust me. There's something about being behind a screen. People hear me talking, and it just it over time builds trust. I don't have to go face to face and try to convince people that I'm a good bookkeeper. I can just go behind this camera and I can talk about everything I'm doing in my bookkeeping business about my journey, what I know, what I don't know, what I do and what I don't do. And it's powerful, guys. Social media is really powerful, and it's free, and it takes a little bit of guts. Actually, it takes a lot of guts. I'm just being honest. It takes a lot of guts. It was hard to start this little YouTube thing, but if you can do it, if you can have the guts to do it, you will be so proud of yourself. We have short lives, guys. We don't have a lot of time on this earth, and if you have kids, then it's even more important that you establish your legacy now. That you show your kids what's possible, how you can overcome challenges, taking risks, doing things that are hard. Don't you want your kids to do things that are hard? Don't you want to be proud of your kids? It starts with yourself. You need to be proud of yourself first. You need to take those risks yourself. You need to get off the couch. You need to stop watching so much TV at night. And you just need to start doing things that are going to add to your legacy and they're going to help you become a better person and a better business owner. Because guys, now I'm 4.5 years in and I am experiencing the rewards of my hard work in the beginning. And it's still hard work. I still come into work. I got this awesome office. It's 2 minutes away from my house. It's still hard work, but it's worth it. I'm making money. I have so much time with my family. It's extremely flexible, very little stress. I don't work after hours. I get to wear whatever I want. I get to have a business that is totally mine. And guys, I'm just telling you, it is so much fun to be in control of your life. And guys, obviously, listen, I'm a Christian, and I know that there are things that are out of my control, that are in God's hands. And I know that. But there's also a level of control that you can have by having a strong work ethic, by working hard, by not being lazy. You can take things into your own hands and you can create the life that you want to live. And there are going to be challenges, there are going to be hard things that come along the way. But as a bookkeeping business owner myself, I can tell you that it is 100% worth it. So be patient. And one thing I want to say too, guys, if you've made it this far in the video, you probably haven't, is that in the beginning, it's going to be so awkward. You're going to have those conversations in the beginning. You're going to talk to people at these holiday parties and they're going to ask you, they're going to say, oh, what exactly do you do? Or they're going to say, hey, can you walk me through? I'm having this issue with QuickBooks, and you're going to mess it up. I guarantee you're going to mess it up. It's going to be awkward. And you might sound a little bit silly, and you're definitely going to miss a lot of opportunities in the beginning because you're not refined. But every time you have one of those conversations, you're going to learn a little bit more. You're going to be a little bit more prepared, and you're going to be ready. So maybe this holiday season, you're going to fumble your way all the way through. But next holiday season, you're going to be ready. The next birthday party, you're going to be ready. And that's what you have to get started. You have to get started on refining your ability to communicate and your ability to just build this business. So that's the video. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I tend to ramble. I'm surprised that people even listen to this in the first place, but I really love talking about my business. And if you want to continue learning more about how I started my business, I would highly recommend subscribing to this channel. I would take a look at some of my other videos. And if you want to comment, I can't promise I will respond to your comment, but if you want to comment suggestions for future video ideas, or if you have any questions, please let me know. So thanks guys, I appreciate it.